Welcome to today's class. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. We are going to be doing some mobility, and our focus today is our feet and our ankles, specifically in our toes. And this is an area that, the mobility for it just feels really great. And sometimes, excuse me, we don't always spend a lot of time with our feet and our ankles. So whether you are sitting or wherever you are, just try to find a little bit of space. You might even want to lay down for some of these movements, but you can also do a lot of them in the chair. Hi, everyone. It looks like Cairo's joining us this morning too. Say hello to Cairo. Oh, and Luxor's here. I better not touch him. He might knock over the camera. Okay, so find yourself a spot to start. And you can start this class, like I said, either sitting or if you want to lie down. And I just want you to do some movement with your feet. So you can stretch the ankles, wiggle them around, and see how your feet are feeling. Obviously, if you have some shoes on, or I shouldn't say obviously, if you have some shoes on, you might want to take them off, and you might even want to take your socks off. Oh, hello, Cairo. Okay, so let's lie down on our backs. And you can bend your knees in and stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Knees don't have to be straight or anything. The legs are pretty chill. Looking at our feet. We're coming into plantar flexion first. So that's pointing our toes. And then from here, we're going to flex our toes, coming into our dorsal flexion. You might feel some nice stretching on the fronts and the backs of our legs. So let's point. You can hold your legs to help you and flex and point and flex. Now, as you're doing this, let's slow the movement down and imagine that you could roll through the bottom of your foot as slow as you can. Spread those toes until you come into the deepest point possible. Then from that deepest point, start to pull the toes down first and roll through the feet until you come in the biggest flex. So it's almost like you're doing a cat-cow with your feet. Now, like I said, you could do this sitting as well with the legs out, and you could even do it one leg at a time or 1 foot at a time just by holding the leg. So we're slowly rolling into the point and slowly rolling into the flex. Let's do it one more time. Really concentrate this time on spreading your toes as much as you can. Roll and point, and then all the way down and flex. Now stay in this deep flexed position and start to send your pinky toes or your baby toes out towards the side. I'm actually going to turn around so you can see here. Oh, sorry, Cairo. So the toes are coming out the side. Try to keep your legs as still as you can. Come into a point. Circle the big toes towards each other. You might have to separate your legs a little bit. And then come into your flex. So we're taking ankle circles, but very slowly and very mindfully, trying to make the biggest circle you can and without moving the rest of your leg. That's the key point. The next time that you come into that flex position, let's switch directions. So big toes come towards each other. Roll up into the point. Send the pinky toe out into that deep flexion. And point it up. Roll it out. One more time. And all the way into the point. And now just shake those legs out. Great, let's find our way on to our hands and knees now. We're going to extend the right leg out behind us. Now, if you were standing, you could do this with your hands on the back of a chair or even at the table with the ball of the foot out behind you and the toes dug into the floor. I'm going to do it from my knees here. So I'm extending my right leg behind me. And I'm really pushing the ball of the foot down into the floor. And you'll feel your glute and your hamstring maybe turn on. Keep sending yourself back as far as you can, getting the biggest stretch that you can through the back of the calf. Using the strength of your foot, push the foot into the floor, roll forward until you come forward all the way over the big toe. Now, if you need to, you can always move your hands forward, or you can go for the extra wrist mobility here. Once the top of the foot's down on the floor, push the foot down so that you're stretching the top of the ankle. Now let's reverse this action as slowly as you can by driving the toes down on the floor, roll up and over, and then send the heel away from you, getting that deep, deep stretch. And now let's keep going forward. Push, 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 push. I can easily just rock my body weight, but I want to focus on using the strength of my foot. Press the top of the foot down. I'm pushing down so much that I can lift my other leg up. And roll it up and over. Same here, you're still pushing so much that you could lift that other leg up off the floor. And let's come back into a neutral. Switching to the other side, extending the left leg out, starting with the ball of the foot down. Send the heel back. It's like you're really trying to put your whole foot down on the floor, feeling the stretch right into that calf. Push the foot down as you roll forward, coming to the toes, and push the top of that foot down. And try to spread your toes while you're doing this too. And then pushing the foot down, roll through the toes, spread them as much as you can. Come all the way back, drive the heel down. Ooh, I just got a really good crack. And come forward, push the foot down, stretch that ankle, and then roll up and back, drive the heel down, and coming back towards the center. Great. Taking this position here, tops of the feet, push down into the floor, and then send your hips back, and walk your hands as close towards your knees as you possibly can. If you are standing, you'll want to either try this one, or you can just press the top of the foot down one at a time. If you can put all of your weight onto your heels, and we're still trying to keep the feet as straight as you can, so we're not hooking the feet in so that the big toes come to each other and the heels are on the outside. The feet are pointing straight down, and it might be a little uncomfortable, so keep your hands forward. Just hold here for 3, 2, 1, and then bring yourself forward. You can always tap the feet out if that was a little bit tender. Tuck the toes under now, pressing the balls of the feet in. Same thing, walk the hands back until you can stack your weight right over top. So the more we come back, the more weight we're putting into our feet. And we want those feet stacking straight up and down, spreading the toes as much as you can, feeling that stretch right on the bottom of the feet. We're working those feet, we're working those ankles. Give them some love. Stay here. I know that this one especially can be pretty uncomfortable for some of you. So do your best, or lean forward a little bit so it's not so much weight on those feet. You got it. Take another deep breath here. And then let's come forward. You can tap those feet out if that was sensitive for you. Standing on your feet, let's look down at those toes. Lift all toes up off the floor. And as you do this, feel the balls of the feet push down and the heels push down. How much can you spread your toes? And now set the feet down, or the toes down. Lift all the toes up. Now, keeping all of your toes up off of the floor, can you tap just your big toe down on the floor? Keep spreading the other toes, and now lift the big toe. Now, when you're doing it, really be mindful that you're not rolling in through the ankles. Keeping the weight on the balls of the feet, tap the big toe down. And one foot might be better, or they might not be working very much at all. And lift it up. Are you rocking back on your heels? Keep the weight center. One more time, tap those big toes down. Spread the other toes and lift them up. Great, now keep the big toes up and put all the 4 other toes down on the floor. So you're really trying to extend that big toe up off the floor. And now lift them all up. Keep them flexing as much as you can. Put the toes down. You can look at them. You might even notice you're doing really weird things with your hands. And then lift them up. Keep spreading, spreading, spreading. We got one more. Set those toes down. Keep the big toes up. And now put the big toe down. Feel your feet underneath you. Do they feel a little bit fat? I was going to say fatter. Flatter. Do they feel a little bit wider? A little stronger maybe? Excellent job. Thanks so much for joining me today with a little bit of foot and ankle mobility. Easy exercises that you can do anytime. Just flip those shoes off. Even some of them you can do with your shoes on throughout the day, standing, sitting, to get your toes and your feet more mobile. We need that. We need the strength growing from the ground up. So any questions, send them my way. If you want this class sent to you, don't forget to join my VIP list. Have a great rest of your Saturday.